Hello friends, welcome to JavaEE JSP tutorial. So in this video and in the next two videos we are going to create custom tag. So we can use this custom tag to render the book's title. We already retrieved the book's title in our previous videos. So now we are going to use custom tag to render the book titles that is retrieved from the pubs database. So to use this video, you should have already set up the Wildfly environment with your Eclipse. So this is already explained in tutorial 01 of the Java Servlet playlist number 06. So this playlist is optional. So the JSP learning will go easy if you know how to use Servlet. So here we actually do all the database connection with Servlet, and hence basic knowledge on Servlet is required. So if you are new to Servlet, then you can watch this playlist. It may take some while, and if you have some basic knowledge of Servlet, maybe you can skip these all 28 videos. Next, in this video we will use the database configuration which we already did. So these two are not much important, but to do the database configuration we may need a super user. That's why here first we used the super user. Then this one is just to query the database stuff in the Eclipse environment itself. Without this second video, you can still continue with the Wildfly stuff, configuring the SQL Server data source name with Wildfly. So here we already implemented retrieving data using this SQL Server configuration which we already did. So this we will keep it as a common, so it's a one-time setup, this configuration, and in the next videos we will use the data retrieved through this configuration. So if you want to skip this, then you can tweak the example so that it will supply the data from the array or your own built-in collection, or you can have some cache of data and you can supply that. All right. So in the previous videos we saw two varieties of display book JSP versions. So this is tutorial number 10. Here we actually implemented the display book. This will actually hit the database and reads the data from titles table of the pubs database. Then it will display the content. So if you see here in the corresponding JSP file, we have the scriptlet. So this is our version 1. Version 1 uses the scriptlets, and you can see how we are opening and closing the tags. Then here we used the JSP expression language. Here we also specified the JSP use bin tag. So this is our version 1. Then in version 2, which is explained in this video, tutorial 15, we used the JSTL. Here if you see there is no JSTL, we are directly using the Java scripting. We can call this scriptlets. Here we are using the standard tag library, and using this we changed this version. That means we removed all the scriptlets, and instead of Java syntax for loop, here we are using the JSTL for each. Then Here we are using the JSTL syntax to retrieve the book content. You can see this is the collection, and this book titles collection. Here also we referred the same book titles from the request scope. Here, using this syntax, we are referring these book titles, which is pushed by the servlet. If you watch these two videos, you will understand. The servlet will read all the database content and it will form an array list. Then it will keep this book title as a request scope variable, collection variable. Then this JSTL is reading that content from the request scope, and here we are forming the group, and each one is our title bin. Then we are accessing the title bin property. So this one is our second version, v2. Same display books, version 2. Here we are using the scriptlet and expression language. Here we are using the JSTL, Java Standard Template Library. So now we want to use the custom tag, so these are all the tag from JSTL, right? Java Standard Tag Library. So likewise, we want to define our own tag. So here, if you see, we have C. This C is prefixed with JSTL core. If you watch the video here, you will understand. We will have a tag lib. The tag lib will be from JSTL core. Here there will be something. Then we will put a prefix of C, right? Then we use this for each tag. So instead, we want to develop our own tag, and we will prefix that with my. That means here we will provide some URI. We will define some URI. Then, just like for each, if you see here, we want to define a tag called list books. So this is the tag we are defining, and this tag is having an attribute. So the attribute is books. That's the attribute we are defining. Then here we are using $book title, right? So the same stuff here we are using $book title. That means here we are going with the JSTL syntax, but we are supplying the book title. Here we use the book title as an array list to iterate through the for each loop. But here we are giving the same stuff to the books attribute. So what happens with this tag and how we develop? So that's what we are going to see here in this video. Okay, let's look at the tag support class. So this is the class we are going to develop, and this class derives from SimpleTagSupport class. So that means that this will be our Java file, list book titles.java, and we derive it from the SimpleTagSupport. So inside this class, we will have one member, array list books. Then we will override the doTag method. So what happens? This books is a array list. So this will be an array list, and each instance will be a bean. So we will have a bean. So the bean is actually a title bean. So we already created this bean. So we know that this title bean will have three properties. One is book description, type, and price. So three attributes it will have. And our list book titles. So this contains one attribute which holds the list of books. So we know that this list of books will be retrieved by a servlet. So the servlet will make use of the database connection, which we defined in our previous video. So it will contact the SQL server, it will retrieve the data, then it forms an array list, and that array list is pushed to this tag support class. That means here for this books we will have a property. Using that property we will set all the title beans. So for now, in this tag class perspective, so this will be our custom tag class. So in tag class perspective, design wise, if you see, it contains one array list, then we have a doTag. So the array list will have a collection of beans. The array list will have a collection of beans, and doTag will iterate through these beans and it will retrieve the properties of beans to perform rendering. So while we implement this doTag, as already told, we will iterate through it, then we will use the JSP writer. So using this JSP writer, we will form the tags at runtime and we will push the content to the browser session. So our goal is to use this simplified custom tag. So here, if you see, this is how we extend our class, a list book titles tag. This is our class name and it extends from SimpleTagSupport. As already told, here we are defining the array list of books. Then we have a setter method that will set the books. Here, if you see, this is the attribute, books attribute. List books is the tag and books is the attribute, and for this books attribute we are supplying the array list collection from our servlet. So servlet stuff you will see later. So what happens, this will access the setter method. Here previously if I told getter method, apologize, it is a setter method. So from here the information is fed and our tag class now will have books collection. So that's one thing. Second thing, if you see, we will use this books collection. First we will get the JSP context. So this JSP context is to get the output stream. So get out JSP writer instance out. So this is the instance we will use. If you see here, next it's a simple, it's just a print line, and inside the print line we just print our HTML content along with the dynamic content. So we already have books that came to our tag class using the custom tag, and the books here we are iterating it object, and object we are typecasting it to our title bean. So this will be our title bean, book title, and then you can see we are accessing the getter methods, book title dot get book title, get type, get book price. So all the stuff here we are using, and in between we put some HTML formatting. So if you see, the doTag is playing the major role. You can see two stuff here. One is a class that is extending from SimpleTagSupport. Next, we override the doTag method. So inside the doTag method we will put our rendering stuff, and here of course we are using the JSP context and JSP writer. Alright, now our SimpleTagSupport class is ready, but there are two more work pending. So here in this part we return this SimpleTagSupport, In the second part, we will define the tag library descriptor, and in the third, we write our third version of the JSP file. So JSP file, nothing but it will use this custom tag, that's all. Okay, anyhow, we defined the simple tag support. That means we completed this part. Now we will go to the demo. Here, if you see, our environment is ready. So we use our same JSP examples. Okay, we will create a new package instead of using the existing one. Here I'm choosing new class and package. If you see, tube coding examples JTags. So the tag class is for printing the book titles or to render the book title. So we gave the name as a list book titles tag. So that's what our custom tag is. So super class simple tag support. So once I typed a simple tag, it automatically filtered it, and you can see from where this tag class is defined: JavaEE Servlet JSP tag extension. So these runtimes will be provided by the vendor. Here the vendor is Wildfly. So if you use Tomcat, then Tomcat will provide this runtime for you. Alright, we have a list of book titles that derives from simple tag support. There is no interfaces here, so I'm clicking finish. So here first we need an array list, so importing it from java.util package. So next we need a setter method, so we just wrote our setter method here. So let's put a suppress warning. First let us put suppress warning here. So here if you see, we are receiving the books collection and we are setting the internal member here. Next we will override our doTag method. So this is the method we want to override. Let's place this after our setBooks method. So this is the method we are overriding. So as already explained in the PowerPoint slide, we are importing the JSP context from JavaEE Servlet JSP, then JSP writer from Servlet JSP, then title, this one is coming from tube coding examples.bean. So that's all here. So we no need to publish For now, we just created a class to render the custom tag. That means to render the books collection. We can simply say that. So this is array list of a books collection. The books collection will hold title instance, which is our Java Bean instance. Title, if you see, we already created it. So this is our title. So these stuffs are already explained many times, so I don't want to reiterate it. So just now you watched the demo. We created a tag support class. In the next video, we will use the tag support class, and we will link that with the tag library descriptor TLD file. So thank you for watching. Bye.